Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Robert Raven here. Today we're going to do another session of Heroes Adventures. When last we left off, we were just outside the town camping, so we will wake up, get all of our camp stuff ready. Eddie and Drakeo will activate their spell to become human form, and then we walk into the town, and as we're walking through the small farm town, it's just like there's like a big dirt road that leads through the center of the town, and then there are a bunch of log cabins, each in a sectioned off plot, and each with like a little piece of farmland behind or on the side of the house. And as Vexra leads us to the village chief's house, we get there about mid-afternoon, and then we talk to the chief and inform him that we're, taking this quest for the guild, and we show him the quest scroll, and he's like, alright, and he says that the killer cabbages have been appearing near the border of the village. And so we're like, alright, we'll take care of it, and we'll see you tonight. And the village leader says, thank you, and good luck. So we go, and we come over into, we'll say, this area right here to the outskirts of the town, and that's where the killer cabbages are coming to life and coming in and attacking the village. We'll say there's a patch of, let's get a dice, and we'll roll a d20. There is a patch of 15 of them. And as we come to walk up into the area, we can see in the ground these giant cabbage heads poking out of the ground that are about 2.5 feet tall. And as we get closer, the ground starts to rumble a little as all of the little killer cabbages rip themselves out of the ground, and they rip part of their layer of head off and mount it on their arm as a shield, and then with their other hand they rip part of their layer of head off from the other side, and it sharpens and becomes the shape of a sword. And then they all begin to make weird noises as they charge forward. And alright, we'll see who goes first. Their group got a 20. And our group got a 2. That's not good. Alright, so we will see if first we'll see who they hit. A 1 is Eddie, a 2 is Drakesio, a 3 is Gobby, and a 4 is Vexra. 3, so Gobby gets targeted. Let's see. 25, so the group, they're able to like get close, but they're not able to surround Gobby like they're wanting, because her being near a group of 3 other people. So instead they end up surrounding all of us, and then the group's second combat point will attempt to close in. 64. Alright, so they're able to close in, and then the next one, they're going to attempt their combination salad spin, which is not on their block. I'm making it up right now because it's a group of them. So 24, we'll say, we'll roll it. So 7 of them understand like the gist of what's going on. The rest are just standing there as the 7 that all get the same idea take their swords and charge forward, all making a attack with their sword in a circle, trying to attack from all angles. And let's see. Combat. Alright. Alright, so let's do a d6 for a sword. Alright, and then since they don't normally have swords, they only have like their killer bounce attack, which is a d4. They're going to do their bounce into the sword strike, which is what makes it their spinning tornado that we're gonna create. So 4 damage, and alright, so we'll do that. Yeah, so 4, and then, oh nice, 5, 6, or 8, 9, 10. Alright, 15. This is roll 4, 19, or yeah, 19, 20, 21, or yeah, and then 25, 26, 27, 28, 32, 35. And last roll, if I counted right, and that's 38 and 42 plus their strength is +2, so 44. And let's see if they're still attacking Gobsy or if they are spreading out the damage. So 52, okay, so they're still targeting Gobsy. So let me check Gobsy's character sheet real quick, because she might have just died. Yep. She only has 40 health. So as these killer cabbages rip themselves out of the ground and then rip part of their heads off to make a shield, and rip part of their heads off and make a sword, and then they circle us and get closer. 7 of them charge and bounce in all directions, and they bounce into Gobsy, and as they bounce into her, they spin and twist and slash and shred her with their swords, slashing her all over the place as her blood begins to burst forth and cover all over us and the killer cabbages as it splatters on the ground, as well as Gobsy drops to her knees and then falls face first into the dirt and dies. And now it is our turn. So let's see. We only have to kill 2 each, but these things are gonna annihilate the village if we don't take care of them. So, and they're not that strong. There's just a lot. So, let's see who goes first. 3 will be Vexra. Okay, so she'll go first. Alright, let's see. Let's see what she's got. Alright. Oh yeah, we can go to her clan real quick. And she's the Sunstream clan. If I can get to the right page. Do it this way. Looking, there it is. She's the Sunstream clan. So, let's see. Let's see. Alright, cool. She will put her hands together and unleash a 30-foot beam of pure magical sunlight that ricochets and hits all of the killer cabbages within, we'll say, this whole portion of, so if we're encircled, we'll say this whole half of the circle gets blasted. So we'll say 8 of them, which will leave 6, and they take 1d10 plus her ham plus her base attack, which her ham is, oh man, that's only a 2. That's not very good. And yeah, her highest ability mod is also only a 2, and her base attack is a 2. So she only does 6 damage, but the cool thing is the killer cabbages only have 5 health. So she unleashes this super weak beam of light that's like dimming and fading in and out, but it's just enough to blast and burn and incinerate all of the 8 killer cabbages that are on that section. And as they're burning and screaming in fear for their lives, she runs up to 2 of them and rips off part of their head cabbage and tucks it into her bag so that her part of the quest is done. And then Drake, Co, and Eddie look at each other and they're like, well, there's 3 left each for us, brother. Snack? Yep, just remember to save a piece of at least 2 of them. Alright, and Eddie and Drake, Co use one of their 5 combat points, because they're dragons, to get in place. Then they both use 1 combat point to attack, and I don't even have to roll because their minimum damage would kill them. So they're dead as they eat all 3 of them and then pick out 3 pieces from their teeth. And then they like retransform into humans and put it into their bag. And then as they are going to turn around to go back into the village, Vexra screams, wait, you guys are just gonna leave these like massive dragon footprints outside the village, like right here? And we both look at each other and we're like, well, I mean, what are we gonna do? Like, take the time to fill it up? And Eddie goes, like, I actually agree with my brother this time. There's not really much we can do. I mean, like, my brother specializes in stealing people's souls and fire, and I am based around using my pure draconic magic and my power that was gifted to me is the power of a spider, which I haven't had to use in a long time because, well, I'm the only one of my kind, and even in the land of dragons, they don't take too kindly to spider dragons. And as Eddie and Drakeo are saying this, Vexria's just like, well, I mean, we have farming equipment with us. And they're like, what do you mean we have farming equipment with us? And she's like, well, I'm a farmer, so I've always got farming equipment with me. And I mean, it might take me a couple hours because your guys' footprints are fucking huge, but I can fill it in. And we're like, alright, do you want us to, like, go tell the village leader this is done, and then we can come back and help you out? And she's like, yeah, how about one of you go let the village leader know, and one of you stay and help me? And then we're going to decide who goes. 51 or higher is Eddie, 49 or lower is Drakeo. So 13, so Drakeo goes to tell the village chief, and it's, let's see, high or low. High, okay, so we'll say it's been about 3 hours, so he still has an hour left. Well, actually, he just used his transformation because he popped out and then popped in. So he dropped the spell and then reactivated it. So he's got, so never mind on that. He's got 4 full hours of his transformation. Let's see if he gets distracted as he's in the farm village, though, on his way. And he does. So, because that was a 30. I accidentally flipped it. So, as he gets into town, he sees a bunch of farmers and, like, their stalls outside their houses and their crops, and he gets all excited and starts and goes and talks to people. And we roll a d4 to see how many hours he wastes in town talking to people before remembering that he's supposed to go to the village chief. Okay, only one. He only wastes 1 hour. That was close. Well, that could have been really bad. And so he wastes an hour. He's fine. He's still got 3 hours. He goes to the village leader and tells him, you know, job's been done. We're gonna camp outside in that spot for the night to make sure no more come throughout the night and try and mess with the town, and then we'll be heading back to the guild tomorrow. And the village leader's like, alright, awesome, thank you. Here's the guild pay. And he hands us or hands Drakeo a bag with 10 copper coins, and he's like, thank you, and he walks, and let's see if he gets distracted on the way back. 72, so no. On the way back, he does not get distracted because he already talked to everyone and stuff, so he goes back, and by the time he gets back, okay, it's only been another hour with him talking and doing all that, getting back, okay? And then, so he's got 2 hours left, and they decide to go, and when he gets there, he helps fill up everything, and then they set up camp for the night, and then in the morning, they both transform in, or they get all their camp stuff, they undo it all, they put it away, get it all packed up, and then they transform, have Vexra climb up on one of their backs, and they fly back to the guild. And as they get into the guild entrance, as they get up to the guild entrance, that is where we will leave off for this session. Thank you all. Like, subscribe, and join us next time for more adventures.